The views and opinions expressed on this program do not reflect the company, owners, management, staff, clients, or partners.
It's Friday, the 27th day of September 2024. Welcome to Bermuda's Daily Talk Show. It's the Daily Hour brought to you by the BAC Group of Companies, Medical House Lindos, and People's Pharmacy. I'm Jamel Hartman. She's Maya Palacio, and Teo Do will be with us in a bit to bring you the latest in the news break brought to you by People's Pharmacy. Maya, happy Friday to you.
Happy Friday, Jamal.
Yeah. So Maya and audience, if I happen to go dark, that just means I'm in the middle of is it like, I don't know if it's still a hurricane or tropical storm, but my lights have been going in and out. And because I don't want you all to think I'm making fun of Mr. Wade since it's from BELCO today and like I'm trying something. No, it's not. It's intent. The irony of this is just crazy, right?
I didn't even think about that, but now I'm like, oh man.
I was like, of course, you know, a guy living on my own. I don't have flashlights. I only have, pretty looking candles that make the place smell nice. So I was in darkness trying to find my cell phone and put this flashlight on my cell phone on to try to get around. Yeah, I'm just a loser. Yeah.
All that equipment, you ain't got no portable light?
Yeah. And you got to do better, Jamal. You got to do better.
Yeah, a bit better.
Yeah, you got to do better. Anyway, so greetings, everyone. Thanks for making us part of your daily routine. A good one today as we welcome Nadir Wade on from BELCO. We're discussing their apprenticeship program. The Daily Play is a things you should know. The things you should know. And don't forget to subscribe on our website. Follow us on all of our social media channels to stay up to date with all that we have going on. Help us grow beyond the mic as we do our part to continue to improve our community. David Michael Wilson says, fabulous Friday, TDH fam and crew. May everyone be blessed, safe, happy, and healthy. Suzanne Ingham says, awesome Friday, Jamel, Maya, and Teo. Awesome Friday to you both. And Karen Simmons says, fantastic Friday, TDH fam, Jamel, Maya, and Teo. Have a happy and safe weekend. Indeed. David Michael Wilson says, how are you from Bermuda but can't weather a storm in Florida? I'm actually not in Florida anymore. But yeah, definitely it's interesting. And being from Bermuda is fine. I mean, as the former director of the Weather Service said, if there's anywhere where you want a hurricane to come, it's probably Bermuda. Have you seen the way they build homes in the United States?
That's what I was about to say, yeah.
I'm not quite sure this is a place you want to be for a hurricane. You all, I mean, you all are critical of BELCO. You ain't experienced, these places out here that are overpowered. So, I definitely don't cherish being in this spot. But let's have some fun today, Maya.
All right.
Let's have some fun. It's Friday Fun Day brought to you by our friends at Mailboxes. Don't forget, you can get 2 years of free membership. 2 years of free membership. The holidays are coming up. You all like to get Christmas gifts and send stuff in. Get 2 years of free membership. All you have to do is go to mailboxes.bm/the daily hour. But here's your Fun Day Friday question. This is going to be a doozy. I know it. What are some of the most unique Bermudian phrases / slang / words? What are some of the most unique Bermudian phrases, slang, words? We have a lot.
We have so many.
Yeah, I don't want to take it from you all, but save that question because there's another one. Can you recognize a Bermudian accent anywhere in the world? Can you, like, if you heard someone speak, you'd be like, that person's Bermudian. You can, Maya?
I feel like I can. I'm gonna give it like an 80-20 because I think I notice it and I peep it, but I don't always say something like to confirm it and be like, "Are you Bermudian?" or like walk up to the person. Versus, I have a story that one of my friends did, and it's actually been quite hilarious since.
Okay. All right. Let's see. I mean, I'm trying to think if I've ever heard. I think in the airport, but that's easy because you're usually at the same gate.
Yeah, that's simple. That don't count.
You can't. But I think I've recognized like, yeah, that person got to be Bermudian. Never seen them, but you hear them say something, right? All right. Question of the morning: what are some of the most unique Bermudian phrases, slang, words? David Michael Wilson says, "Chingus, chopsin, mug, inner mug." Yes,
mug that was gonna be mine. You got me on that one because literally when I'm away in Toronto, I didn't even realize how unique mug was. Like I thought everyone knew that mug meant lame, boring, whatever. Because my friends are always like, "What does mug mean again?" Because I keep saying it all the time.
I'm gonna have a Bermudian slang conversation with some folks today, and see what they say. See how they respond. I want to see how they respond. For instance, I used to be, one of my favorite things was to do to people. This is old school. Like when I was growing up, you would just go up to someone, greet them, and you'd be like, "Safe."
You safe?
I do that here, and it's like, huh? What are you talking about? And I'm just like, yeah, Jamal, you gotta know your environment, bro. Know your environment. Sahima Chaudhry says, "Bye, Gert, ace girl, ace boy." Yeah, Gert. So those tuning in who may not be Bermudian, Gert means the size. Like that fish is Gert, meaning huge, big,
gigantic. Yeah. You know what's funny? As soon as she wrote it there, I was just like, I don't think I've ever seen it written. I don't think no one's written it to me, but I definitely say it like a ton of times. I'm looking like, that's what? And I'm like,
yeah.
I've never written that down. Okay.
Rosalind Famous says, "Can recognize a Burmese accent." Well, you do language as well, Rosalind. I'm pretty sure you can. Yeah, but
this is it.
I almost want to create a game where people can, we do that. Sahima says, "I notice Burmese accents anywhere. You can always tell." Okay. Maya, you know about this one, right?
Say it.
Ooh for
Chikiwawa. Oh my god. See,
you gotta do this too, right? You'd be like,
that's just Bermudian? That's not a regular thing?
Oh, I ain't never heard of those outside Bermuda, but you do the finger, you do ooh for
Chikiwawa. I used to do this one with it.
Yeah. See, I can't make noise. I can't. Simmons, down the road, ace girl, boy, your mug, inner, she's fine.
Fine too, yeah. Like that's the one I didn't realize that it wasn't universal when I was away.
Yeah. This is another. I just put WYS, what you're saying. In the US, I have to say WYD, what you're doing. But with Bermudians, it's always WYS, what you're saying. Like that's what we do, right? Yep. I literally say this so often. You lot. Or as Sherilyn Johnson says,
damn lot.
Yeah. I'm with you, had Lean and Sherilyn. Gribble. So here's the thing. I've heard people say disagreeable, but do they mean disagreeable? Is that the same thing, audience? Disagreeable and disagreeable?
I think so. I would use it interchangeably. So.
Okay. Hey, bye. I thought this is another one. Hey, bye. You know who is famous for saying that, man?
Who?
Sir John Swan. You walked on the street. Hey, bye. That's catchphrase. Sir John should got a shirt with that on it, right? It's like, hey, bye. Dondi Rudd. That's Sherilyn. Yep. An Earl one, says Angeline Butler.
Crumbs.
Now, let's be honest. That's a substitute for you foul mouth folks. You know?
Is it? Oh, I was like, I use it in the place of chinga sometimes.
Crumbs? Oh, crumbs. Think about what else you'd say at that point.
Okay. All right. I'll give it to you.
Oh, Sherry, thank you. That's one right here. Try saying this to an American. What time are you knocking off? What time I'm what?
or clock it out.
What time you get off of work? Like you gotta. I didn't realize that was a Bermudian thing. That's one that really shakes people when you say it.
Hey, you know what? My sister was actually talking about that the other day because one of our cousins away was she had an issue with that. No one like knew what she was saying. When she was like, "Hey, what time you guys knocking over? What time y'all clocking out?" Like, what? Knocking off? What? Like, I was like, geez, so many things I didn't realize were like not universal. Like when you start saying them away and you have to slow down your speech, or you have to say like the amount of times I say ace girl or ace boy without even realizing it in conversation, and then everyone's like, who is she talking about? Like, what does that mean? I'm like, oh man.
I love it. Hey, look, man, it's nothing like your own slang. I mean, dialect, whatever, but I love it. Shahima said, you just said one. Oh, my dirt.
No.
You said this earlier too, Yeah. Is there, I want to know, audience, is there a non-Bermudian tuned in right now where like you're watching like we're speaking another language? Like I'd like to know if there's a non-Bermudian tuned in right now who's like, what language do they speak? How do they understand each other? Suzanne Ingham says, yes, know a Bermudian when I see and hear them. The dialect sucks and slides. Shingas by, nah, look by, I'm out of her.
Hey,
is this Bermudian Maya? Shoot the breeze?
See, that's when I'll be like, that's universal, right?
Yeah, I feel like that's universal.
Let the audience decide on that one. Shoot the breeze. Is that just Bermudian or is that universal?
Yeah.
Have I heard anyone else say that? Shoot the breeze.
We're just going to shoot the breeze. I feel like I've heard that. I mean, keep in mind, I've been in this country, the U.S., half of my life. So I think I've had to have heard that.
Right?
Yeah.
But then there's so many other ones I thought people would know.
Yeah. Hey, folks, it's Friday Fun Day brought to you by our friends at Mailboxes. Don't forget, if you are planning on shipping anything to Bermuda, you can get 2 years of free membership with Mailboxes. Just go to mailboxes.bm/thedailyhour. Slap in the chops, says Karen Simmons. Slap in the chops, Bermudian. Okay. Mark Arthur C. Phillips, he says, at the end of the day.
Nah, I can't agree with you on that one, Mark. Yeah. There's a lot that I agree with you on. That one I can't. Because as a TikTok user, that phrase is used so heavy by a lot of American TikTokers. Mm-hmm. At the end of the day, whenever they're talking and doing stories, so I have to disagree on that one.
Okay. Renee Simmons says, "Sup, you lot?" Yeah.
That one, yeah.
And I think David Michael Wilson and Karen Simmons responding to is disagreeable and gribble, the same thing, disagreeable and disagreeable. But Hema says gribble equals miserable. So basically, that's what people have been calling me all this time. Thank you, Sahima. Thanks for the translation. Teo with his ooh for Chikiwawa. Teo, you seem like one of those people who was always ooh for Chikiwawa and getting me in trouble for something. Yeah, let me talk to Courtney. He's seeing like one there. Yes, says Suzanne. Yes, gribble equals disagreeable. Let's go. The Oxford Dictionary says, Rosalind Famous, a few years ago, the Oxford Dictionary included words. That's a big step in preserving our language. Absolutely.
Yeah, I remember that. It was, what was the name? I had it too, because I remember doing a story on it when we were here on the show, and I posted it up on the Daily Hour too.
Yeah.
Find it.
I like that. Look at our school teacher friends, both back to back. Larry Marshall says, stop micing, and Sharon says, yeah, micing. So if I said this, they say, yeah, micing. And they're like, what does that mean? Yeah, micing.
Yeah, you're micing. Not paying attention. Yeah, out in La La Land.
You're out to lunch. Sayo says, yeah, shout out to Larry. Micing is the greatest Bermuda specific word concept of all time. Yeah, micing. Stop micing. I don't know. I've heard a lot of Americans say, no, you're right. Bermuda say, they say, yeah.
But I tell you, the amount of ums I have to take out of video editing for Bermudians.
Yeah, no, it's what we do. It's what we do.
We can't stop a sentence. We can't just stop. We like finish the sentence, then go, because we want to keep going, but we don't know what to say just yet. It's like the loading bar.
Yeah, it's the arms there. That is a part of our heritage. Helene Swan says, according to Bruce, hey Bill, that is mostly St. David's Island. We're talking about Bermudians, not St. David. I'm joking. St. David's people, we love you. We love you. We're not going to do that. We're not going to do that to you, St. David's folks.
My grandma says, my grandma doesn't say hey Bill, but she just says Bill sending me love letters because she gets bills.
Oh,
that's what she always says. Get more love letters.
David Michael Wilson says, I have a friend watching and just dumbfounded. Oh, we asked any number medians tuned in. Yes. Yeah, Rosalind famous Wednesday. Well, see, the old Bermudians, like my nana and them, they would pronounce the VW, right, and WV. So, like, it's Wednesday, but they'll say Wednesday. Remember hospital, right? They into the hospital, or Bermudians of all ages still say bathroom as if it's an F, not TH, right? So the dialect's interesting. It's interesting. We drag our vowels, says Rashida Godwin. Drag our vowels and words. Sherry Vanderpool says, I'm changing them out here one day at a time. So
don't you dare, Sherry.
Focus on getting folks talking like Bermudians. What's up, Hammer? Yeah.
That's a hammer?
What's up, Hammer?
Oh, what's up, Hammer?
What's up, Hammer? Yeah.
You know what my mama just said to me? She was like, Kia. I don't know if anyone else's grandparents say that, but that's one of my grandma says all the time. Kia. Mm. That's sort of like interchangeable between like chingus or dang or what? Like something's happening, she's like, Kia. I'm just like, okay. Yeah. That one I grew up with a lot.
Okay.
I'll think about it.
We've got, Sherry says, good morning, Jamal. Like we sing our words. Good morning.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we
walking into a store. Afternoon.
Yep. Oh, this one is funny. Ships in the harbor. You know what that means, right, audience? Y'all got ships in the harbor. Maya, you know what that means, right?
Yes, I know what it means, Jamal.
Yeah, we can't talk about it on this show. It's PG. We got children watching, folks. But yeah,
that's a song, though.
Yeah, but I think what we're talking about and what it means in Bermudian context, ships in the harbor. If you want to know, if you don't know, hit your boy up on the side, all right? That's very uncomfortable, I've heard, having ships in the harbor. Did anyone
say what's up? What's up?
What do you
call that one?
All Truth the Wrestler used to say, what's up? I don't know. Is that Bermudian?
Is that Bermudian? I know, because we said what you're saying, yeah. But what's up? I feel like that's pretty general.
Yeah. Hey, sis, what's going on?
What's going on?
Okay.
Even that one, it feels like, what? Like, how do people not know that? But yeah, I feel like that is very Bermudian.
Bermudian. Sean said what I just said. Yep. Old school Bermudians switching the W for V and V for W is like water instead of yep. Let me get some chicken wings. Yep. They do it. Manuela Jones says, generally, for years, I didn't realize that was generally.
The way we be like making up our own words to things that already exist. I love it. I love it.
But it's like specific, like, people say specific, especially when the words especially, right? We have all ways of saying things.
Yeah, we really do. I can't think of them right now, but I know there's more.
This is a big waffless. Yep. Yeah. Waffless. Yeah. I've heard that a time or two. Not about me. Charles H. Duffy second says, down the country, round the corner, up the country. Yep. This is another one. You got trance?
Yep. That's so true.
Yeah. That's one. Greasing or grease. Like, yeah. Got a grease.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Stop your nonsense, says
nonsense. Yeah.
What else, audience? What else?
That was a heavy one. I feel like, even though I don't know what we call the phrase, but I feel like because Marshall says it a lot, like, hey, look, ba.
Hey, look, ba. Yeah. Hey, look.
And you can use that phrase and say it in so many different terms to like match whatever scenario it is.
That's true. Yeah. See, some things are so normal, we don't even think of them as just Bermudian, though, you know? When you heard a lot. Guy Moreno says, so no one's going to mention, Maya does that a lot. Maya does it. Stick to the wicked and the runs will come. Yeah. That's the most inspirational.
Hey, that is, yep.
People be like, Don't worry about it, cousin. Stick to the wicket.
Stick to the wicket, boss. Stick to the wicket. Yeah.
Hey, it's nothing like a cricket saying, especially when it's not cricket season.
Cricket season. Yeah. It's like, all right, I got it. Yeah. Stick to the wicket. Stick to the wicket.
Bakaton.
Yeah,
that's definitely Bermudian. That's definitely Bermudian. What else you got, audience? What a electrolyte bill. Electrolyte bill. Yes. You know, people be like, you seen an electrolyte bill? Yeah. Tony Bridgewater says, see it, used when confirming another's point of view / perspective on something. See it. Yes. See it.
Seen. Or even seen. Yeah. Seen.
Or seen. Yeah, seen. Yeah. Okay. All right. What's this one here? Irritate. Yes. Irritated. Yeah. This is one amongst the fellas, Maya. Hold the slack tight. Hold the slack tight.
Hold the slack tight.
Gut-itis.
Oh, now that's.
Yeah, I'm gut-itis, bro. Is that Bermudian? Gut-itis?
I feel like I learned that off of Boondocks, to be quite honest with you, when I was very young. That animation Boondocks. Yeah, there's an episode about like when after Black people are hungry, or like before, or whatever. You know, after they're hungry, and then they eat, and then afterwards just tired.
Okay. Marshall says, out the red. Yep. Oh, this is a good one too. If the food was good, that was Val.
Wow, man.
Yeah.
Wow.
Hey, Mr. Photogenic. Hey, cousin, says Karen Simmons. This is another one. When someone's lived a long time, they had a good innings. Yep. That's a Bermuda one. Ton. Yeah, we do pronounce it like you've written it. Ton. Stop your nonsense. That's Bermudian. You're looking sharp.
Looking sharp.
You don't just be looking sharp. You're looking sharp. You know, I can't hold a note, folks. Good innings. Charles said as well. Shanna Butterfield, that tastes well. Yep.
Wow is actually like, even though it's part of the English grammar, but a lot of people away, I swear, like, what?
Yep. Fix your face. Yep. Fix your face. Yeah, my mama said that to me a lot. What you want, right? How do you spell it for boy? Yeah, but what you want, by? Yeah, that's it. Shruti trees, Shruti tracks. Yeah. Folks, we got a guest coming up. Look, let's bring you in. This has been fun. Let's keep it going. Maya's going to keep this going on social media later. But what are some of the most Bermudian unique phrases, slang words? Let's keep it going on our social media pages. We're going to bring on Teo Dill for the Daily Hour news break. And then we've got Nadir Wade coming up. We're going to be talking about BELCO's apprenticeship program. Stick with us.
Hey, morning, fam. How you doing? This has been so much fun. I love these kind of shows. It's the best.
Dang. Wow, real quick, please.
No. This has annoyed me for 15 years. It's ooh for chicky wow. It's two chickies.
Okay.
It's two chickies.
Oh well, but you do the finger too tight.
Yeah. Ooh for chicky wow.
You guys can't make the noise.
No,
I'm getting old. If I go hard, you know what I mean. It's the rest of the day.
Yeah,
not blaming the hair. Oh man,
I'm not blaming the
age. Just say it.
I'm blaming the age. Blaming the age.
His old, man. His old.
But there was one that didn't come up that sweets me. Actually, that's another one too. That sweets me to no end. Beloved, when grown men holler out across the street to each other. Welcome, beloved. Like that's such a beautiful greeting. It's gorgeous. I love that.
Welcome and beloved.
Yeah, man. I don't think that happens anywhere else in the world. I swear.
You know what? Where's that Bermuda book? I have it somewhere too. You know. Hold on, 2 seconds.
2 seconds.
It's literally got it right there.
No, I should have. I didn't even think to use the Bermuda verb. But I have a Bermuda one, and I have a Jamaican one, right?
Oh,
and I have a Jamaican slang one. Yeah, I got that in the airport in Jamaica. But funny enough, I'm gonna start giving this book to people, non-Bermudians that I'm friends with and close with, so that they can learn what I'm saying. So I don't have to, switch. If they come in a room, they're not lost looking like. Something, right? Or Mandarin. So that's what we're going to do, folks. Sherry and I are going to go around and give these out. All right? Yeah,
that's the Lord's work, bro. That's the Lord's work. Well done.
Right, what you got for us today, Tay?
Well, that criminal justice reform is one of the key political priorities for the newly declared PLP candidate for constituency 27 Ward North, Paul Wilmot. He shared as much during a press event yesterday afternoon, as captured by our friends at Burn News, sitting next to Premier David Burt and the retiring area MP, Minister Lieutenant Colonel David Birch.
I often see young people at pivotal moments in their lives, standing between regret and redemption. And it is my responsibility to listen, assess, and determine whether they are ready to make the positive change that they claim to want. It is a delicate balance between what society demands and the potential of growth I see in these individuals. If elected, I will use my experience on the Treatment of Offenders Board to influence criminal justice policies. I believe in accountability, empathy, and rehabilitation over simple punishment. Bermuda is too small for high levels of both antisocial behavior and incarceration.
I think, I mean, this is just me being unbiased. You all think I'm very critical of the PLP and government, and I'm just critical in general. But I can honestly say that they actually got good candidates, if I'm honest.
Yeah, I mean, that was almost exactly what you would want to hear an aspiring politician to say about criminal justice. Like, stop over incarcerating people.
Yeah, I'm upset with the leadership, like David Burt and the government, but they are getting good candidates, if we're honest.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm saying the right thing, but go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah. So speaking of which, outgoing MP Colonel Birch shared his support for Mr. Wilmot, saying that his departure from Parliament is necessary to ensure that younger minds and new voices enter national leadership roles sooner rather than later.
26 years is long enough. I believe that if people who have done this job or any job for that length of time do not voluntarily step out of the way, young people like Paul will not have an opportunity, and they'll get discouraged, and we'll be left with a situation where everybody who's running the country is in a wheelchair, and there is no succession plan that's in place, and you will have chaos. And so I have no regrets about my decision. I think if you ask me what is the thing I'm most proud of, it is helping young people.
I'm going to do a Bermudianism. Your boy just said people running the country in wheelchairs. That was actually funny. That was the Colonel Birch of the oil right there.
and something else, it was I think a Bermudian specific thing that Colonel did that I don't even know if he noticed. Like, and this is no disrespect at all to Brother Wilmot, but I don't think you could really characterize him as like young.
But I picked that up.
Somebody that's younger than you, even if they're mid-50s, you call them young. It's weird. I don't understand.
Player. Brother Wilmot is all love. But I know few people with as many grays in their beard that will be referred to as young Brother Wilmot. No disrespect. Right. But I think what Colonel means is much younger than him.
There you go. Right. Like, you're not old, but you're not young.
No,
you're middle aged
for a while. You've been in the game for a while.
This is something we all need to pay attention to, really. You know that Hurricane Helene is pounding Florida right now, 140 mile hour. It's serious, right? And then Tropical Storm Isaac is building into a hurricane, but it's headed away from the island. So we're cool on that front, but don't sleep, because there's another system likely developed that could swing in our direction in the next week or so. It's an area of low pressure located several hundred miles west of the Cabo Verde Islands, down in the lower right corner, the arrow. It's become more organized during the past day or so. And the National Hurricane Center is saying two things we got to pay attention to. One, environmental conditions are conducive for the system to build in strength as it heads west. And two, it should start swinging northwest by tomorrow morning. That is towards Bermuda. If it does grow into a named storm, it'll likely be called Joyce. Hurricane Joyce. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So, keep that in mind. Like, we might get hit with another one in a little bit. Now, Economy and Labor Minister Jason Hayward, he was at the UK's governing Labour Party conference this week, connecting with his peers across the Atlantic. The goal of the visit was to strengthen cooperation excuse me, with the UK government on sustainable economic growth and development, investment cooperation, trade opportunities, and workforce skill development, like the stuff you would think they would do. Minister Hayward had a bunch of high-level engagements, notably with Minister of State for the Overseas Territories, Paul Dowdy, where they reinforced Bermuda's national interest ahead of the Joint Ministerial Council in November. Now, speaking of the mother country, and of course, that's sarcasm, the UK broke some ground at the UN this week with their first ever Foreign Secretary of Caribbean descent going hard on the Russian invasion of Ukraine. David Lammy, a first-generation descendant of Guyanese immigrants, kept it a buck with the body. Just check it out.
Vladimir Putin, when you fire missiles into Ukraine hospitals, we know who you are. When you send mercenaries into African countries, we know who you are. When you murder opponents in European cities, we know who you are. Your invasion is in your own interests, yours alone, to expand your mafia state into a mafia empire.
Wow, he seemed pretty angry.
Yeah. No, the UK's posture on it has been pretty consistent throughout. But the thing that was really striking to me about that is that it is not hard to imagine that one of the hundreds of children born in the UK to Bermudian parents could sit in the UK Parliament. Like it occurred to me watching him in that space. I'm like, yo, that could be one of our people.
Yeah.
Because we're just as British citizens as anybody else. So yeah, that would be just amazing.
It's more than just football over there. Yeah.
Yeah, man. As far as the weather is concerned, from now through the weekend, should be straight up gorgeous today and tomorrow, mostly gorgeous on Sunday. The ongoing high pressure is keeping this in place, keeping the skies sunny and the humidity a little bit low. Interestingly, a low pressure system will slide in Saturday night, giving us some more cloud and evening rain to wrap the weekend. So if you're going to go to the beach, do it on Saturday.
All right. Thanks so much for that, Tate. Maya, you have a days of the year for us?
Yes, today is actually World Tourism Day. World Tourism Day. So basically, it is your opportunity to board your own world a little bit. So find a location maybe in Bermuda that you haven't been to, haven't seen, been wanting to visit, and go on and make time to do it. World Tourism Day.
This is where I say nothing controversial. All right. Happy World Tourism Day to everybody.
That's what you say.
You want to ask the audience where you want to go in Bermuda that you haven't been before?
Yeah, let's do something like that. See, I was trying to just avoid it. Okay, Bermuda, it's World Tourism Day, right? You ask something because I'm trying not to be that person. What's the most? How can I put it? The most attractive thing about Bermuda as a tourism destination. Let's go there. How's that? That's nice.
What's the most attractive thing about Bermuda as a tourism destination?
Yeah, let us know for World Tourism Day. What would you say, Teo and Maya?
Honestly, the lack, the relative anonymity and lack of pressure, like, is what I always say to people that ask like whether they should come here. I'm like, look, if you want to just genuinely chill, Bermuda is a really good place to do it. If you're trying to party while out, no, don't come.
Yeah.
But if you just want to feel like you are alone in this universe, like with your thoughts, with your people, it's one of the best places in the world to visit.
All right.
Yeah, that's what I say too. Yeah. I think the best thing about Bermuda, honestly, because coming off the plane too and coming out, I'm just like, dang, our water's so nice.
Oh, and that smell, Maya, right? Like when you get off the plane and that ocean smell hits. Oh, I love it.
You don't get that no more because Faye gave us those little walking paths into the airport.
You're right. I never even thought about it till just now.
So when you get out of the airport.
Because you all
Mike
want to get wet anymore.
I miss those days. I really miss walking off the plane. Like, especially, look, I'll pack a scarf just so I can have that moment, that cinematic moment coming off, and then the scarf's blowing in the wind,
Yeah,
I know. You're so right, though. You're so right. I'm genuinely annoyed about it. I never thought that we would lose that moment.
That's what
I've been on. And when I've come home over the last little while since the new airport was there, I realized that I haven't been as happy. That's why I'm getting my burst of fresh Bermuda air a little bit too late in the process.
I'd love for you all to continue your complaints about Michael Faye's decision to not let us walk out the airport anymore. But we have a very special guest waiting for us. But before we do that, we've got Pink Sand, says Sherilyn Johnson. Teo, I was going to say it, but Charles's question, what are you saying, Teo, Bermuda is boring? Well, not saying Bermuda is boring. He's just saying Bermuda is a
It
place
ain't Vegas.
where you can read a book.
Yes, and not have to find space. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't have to work really hard to find like a patch on the beach where you look to your left, you look to your right, you look behind you, ain't nobody around. It like you just go to Long Bay, like walk on one of the trails for a little while.
Your response is probably the most honest thing about Bermuda as a tourist destination. And I don't think that we as Bermudians have faced that reality. At the end of the day, Bermuda's not Vegas, it's not Orlando, it's not New York, it's not your favorite destinations, Jamaica, none of that. What we have to do is understand who we are. And once we understand who we are, then we start to appreciate and sell who we are. If you think that is boring, then that's on you. But Bermuda is a place where there's no nightlife. It's not. Everywhere has a beach. What we should be selling it as is somewhere you can come and just not have to worry about anyone bothering you. If that is boring, accept it, appreciate it, and make the most out of it. You've got literally tourist destinations, Russia, who sell their corruption as part of their tourism. Literally. So why can't we sell being boring?
I think we had to change the vocabulary a little bit, but I think you're right. You know what I mean?
Relaxing.
Yeah. There you go, Maya. There you go. Yeah.
My language, but you get my point. You have a great weekend. Feel better, bro. We'll see you. Our audience will be back in about a minute, 58 seconds with Nadir Wade from BELCO. Stick with us.
Let's face it, life can be a little wild, but shopping doesn't have to be. I choose People's, so that whether it's a prescription that needs to be filled, a toy for my little terror, or a gift for a new addition to the family, we'll see about that. Everything's available in one convenient location. Some call it People's, I call it my one-stop shop in the city. People's, we're here for you.
Welcome to the new bulk store, Lindo's Next Level. Wake up in the morning with enough coffee to keep you running throughout the entire day. Your pet at home deserves the best. Stock up on dog food to keep your puppy happy. Need a quick tasty lunch at home? Your chicken nuggets will be jumping right out of the freezer. What's a movie night without popcorn? You can never have too much. Lindo's Next Level. Why go anyplace else?
Unlock your business potential with BEDC's General Microloan, offering up to $30,000 for Bermudian small and medium businesses. Whether it's for inventory, working capital, or equipment, we provide 100% guarantee on approved loans. Simple application, low interest rates, and fast processing. Apply today and make your business dream come true.
Looking for the best care for your pets? Novazok Feed and Supply has everything you need, from top quality foods to toys and supplies. We've got it all. Join our frequent buyer program and earn rewards every time you shop. Plus, we've been awarded the Clever Customer Initiative program for helping you save more. And don't forget, we open an hour early on Saturdays so you can get a head start on your pet care. Visit us today or shop online for easy pickup or delivery. Your pets will thank you.
Welcome back to the big show. She's Maya Palacio. I'm Jamal Hartman. It's the Daily Hour brought to you by the BAC Group of Companies, Medical Wells, Lindo's, and People's Pharmacy. Do not forget to subscribe on our website, thedailyhour.com. Follow us on all of our social media channels to stay up to date with all that we have going on. Help us grow beyond the mic as we do our part to continue to improve our community. Without further ado, we've got a very special guest today, Nadir Wade, Managing Director over at BELCO. We're going to be talking about their BELCO apprenticeship program. Folks, if you haven't already, make sure you give us a like, a love, a thumbs up. Make sure you share the conversation with your friends, your family, your colleagues, whatever platform you are on. If I think you still say on X, repost or retweet, whatever they do over there now. But make sure you just make sure everyone you know has access to these important community conversations. Let's give a warm TDH welcome to our guest today, Mr. Nadir Wade. Morning, sir. How are you?
Good morning. I'm doing very well.
Happy Friday to you. Happy Friday. So before we get into the important stuff today, I got to ask you some Bermuda slang words that you like to use when you're not working and when you're with your friends and family. What comes to, do you use the term mug to explain? Because if those who may not know, you're a Somerset guy, so you may refer to St. George's as mug, right?
I used to, but then I'm been told mug is like kind of fading out over the last couple of years. Yeah, but I
It's
know
a
people still
person's
use
thing
it.
now, right?
Yep, yep, yep. But I think like A-Buy and um, a lot of the things that everyone said. There's so much going through my mind because you guys been through all of them. But yeah, very hilarious. Knocking off. I think that's a
Yep.
big one.
Yep.
What time you knocking off? I say that every day to my wife. Like, what time you knocking off? Like when are you getting home type of thing. But I know the confusion it causes in other jurisdictions. But
Oh yeah.
I love the conversation and. I actually use slang at work and in play. So
I love it.
I keep it real.
I love it, and that's how it should be. That's how it should be. I love our dialect, our language. I'm gonna say we have our own patois. That's what I'm gonna call it. But I love the Bermudian sound, and I encourage us wherever we go in the world, appreciate it, love it, and speak it. Be authentically yourself. But for those who don't know, tell us a bit about yourself and what it is that you do.
Yeah, so I'm a managing director here at BELCO with responsibility for generation, procurement and logistics, and occupational health and safety. So yeah, just kind of overseeing the operations and planning and strategic matters here at BELCO with my right hand, Shadi Lehman as well.
All right. And we're here to talk about the apprentice program. Just what is the BELCO apprenticeship program? What is it all about?
Yeah, first of all, I'll start by saying the BELCO apprenticeship program has been around for over 35 to 40 years. So, essentially I'm here to promote it, talk about it, talk about some of the maybe changes that we've made. But really the program itself at its foundation has been within BELCO for 35, 40 years with a testimony of many individuals that have gone through the program, excelled, and gone on to big and better things. So, I'm here to promote it in the context of 2024, but I stand on the shoulders of many foundational people that have been a part of it, helped build it, and then we've just kind of taken it to another level and revised it for the modern day. For the modern day.
All right. Yeah, it's definitely, I know a couple of people who have been through it or benefited from the scholarships at least. But what do people need to know before applying for this program?
I mean, first of all, we're excited about it. I think that's the biggest thing. It's not something that everyone is doing. We talk about, different things like technical education and all those type of things, which I won't get a whole lot into. But we as a company are excited about it. Our employees are excited about it. And really, it's a 4-year program. It allows persons to get hands-on training, but also there's an element of overseas training, typically in the UK, where apprentices are going back and forth. And ultimately, they're earning while they learn. So really, we're paying them to sit in a classroom and learn, but then they come back for stints at a time to get hands-on training and to meet hands-on requirements, and then they go back overseas, and that runs for about a 3 to 4 year process. We're looking for we're looking to build people in skills of electrical, mechanical skills, line worker skills, and then what we call electrical fitter skills. So yeah, it's a foundational career opportunity. It's not a job.
Mm-hmm. Audience, if you have any questions or comments for Nadir, please send them through. We'll get through as many as possible. But yeah, feel free to send any questions or comments through.
Yeah. I want just you to touch on a little bit of maybe even the purpose of this program, but also how is someone eligible to apply for it?
Yeah, so the purpose of this program is to allow us as a company to meet our future endeavors in terms of being a sustainable company that is indeed part of the energy transformation, which is not a Bermuda thing, it's an industry thing. It's important for us to have a level of succession planning. And frankly, it takes about 4 years before an apprentice is able to go on a job and do anything kind of remotely on their own. So it's a significant investment for the company. The purpose is to sustain Bermudian jobs. We're a Bermudian company through and through. Though we have a parent company ownership. We have approximately 92% Bermudians working for the company, and that's how we intend to keep it. So the apprenticeship is a significant foundation in that, and the purpose is to make sure that our people have adequate jobs, and then also that they have the skills to be able to see themselves through the future.
Mm.
And who's eligible to apply for the program?
Yeah, so anyone that is, well, we say preferred 18 to 25, and there's a reason for that. Typically, it's not to say that people over 25 are not eligible. They are eligible, but typically 18 to 25 is kind of the window that we try to go for. It's a few reasons for that. We don't like to break people out of bad habits, but rather teach people the good habits up front. You also, just Bermudian or spouse of Bermudian, completed a high school GED, have a high school GED certificate, are willing to perform physical strenuous duties, be able to work at heights, and then also be able and willing to travel overseas, as well as get a British passport, because most of the training is done in the UK. So that becomes a necessity. And just people that are technically, I would say, not necessarily savvy, but have an interest in technical careers, but also have some element of academic rigor as well. Because people think that because you're using your hands, that you don't have to use your brain, which is ridiculous. Our people are highly intelligent, and they have to use their brain every day. They have to be very safety conscious. It's a dangerous job, and you need to be able to have also a lot of mental rigor as well. So there's a part of the requirements that we're looking for. So that's kind of what we're looking for. And then, of course, all the things like good work ethic, I think, is important. And we'll get into the vetting process, but we have some ways that we're looking to make sure that work ethic is there. And, probably going off my marketing script, but entitlement is one thing that we do not tolerate. Especially in these are my words, this more modern day view of employment. We believe in bringing people in and giving them access and opportunity and all that, but where there's a hint of entitlement, that entitlement at the beginning turns into a problem 5-10 years later. So those are things that we don't accept, and we look for ways to weed that out as well. But really, it's really an opportunity, and it's open and access to everyone who wants to be a part of. So the access is open, but you do have to go through a process, and the process is designed to help people be successful that want to be successful.
I'm glad you went off a script. Some things need to be said. I'm sorry.
This is true. I don't think I really heard that one too being mentioned as much. Entitlement. I mean, there's definitely some discussion about when, like, especially newer age coming into workforces and stuff like that. But that's an interesting viewpoint to pick out, and a good example for those maybe watching to even think about when they're looking into new jobs and new careers that they want to change the pathways, especially starting on. So talking about everyone that might even meet that criteria and who is definitely interested, how do they go about applying for this?
So the application process is one where you can go online, belco.bm. Everything is through the website. You can upload all the documents that are required. It's a 500-word essay as to why one would wish to be employed at BELCO, other than, I heard it's a good job type of thing. Really give us a compelling reason as to why someone would want to apply for the apprenticeship, because it's such a long commitment and an investment for the company. That is important. We require 2 references, character references, and 2 employment references if applicable, because some people may have never been employed because maybe they're coming right out of high school or something like that. And then also, which takes some time, transcripts. So that's important. So anyone that is applying, I encourage them to start requesting transcripts from high school or Bermuda College, wherever they need them to be, because ultimately they don't want to miss the application window because they haven't provided them their transcripts. So yeah, that's important as far as the application requirements. One point that I'll say, and then I'll get back to, is also the successful passing of a drug test. That's something that we sometimes don't like to talk about in Bermuda. We operate in a very dangerous environment where not only the safety of yourself, but also the safety of others is highly dependent on not being under the influence of drugs or alcohol. So a drug screening test is important. We do understand in Bermuda that there are some challenges in people not being availing themselves of opportunity because they don't want to give up primarily marijuana use, or don't want to give up marijuana use. We make it very clear that this is a process. This is something that is required, and it's something that is sustaining within our environment in terms of not being under the influence. So for us to have a drug screening process to come in, it's all part of the requirement. So there's that want to avail themselves. Yeah, just kick it in the butt now and know that you're moving forward, and get out of your system, and then just stop it, and then move on with your life and have a successful career that you can actually sustain. That is our point of view. That's not something we shy away from. It is something that stops a lot of technical areas in Bermuda from progressing because persons can't pass and sustain alcohol and drug use, or not being partaken in those things, especially as it relates to not being under the influence in these environments.
I appreciate your candidness, honestly. Very direct and candid. But real quickly before you continue, Charles H. Jackson II has a very interesting question. Is there consistent drug testing throughout employment, or is it just to enter?
Yeah, so I'll say that the concept around drug use and what is deemed as drugs has changed around the world, right? Not necessarily what's deemed as drugs, but what's in certain environments, certain things are legal and certain things are not legal. So for example, in Canada, we know that certain aspects are legal. And that's causing employers to have to think differently about their drug and alcohol policies. What I would say is that BELCO is an organization that is taking those things into consideration, and our drug and alcohol policies reflect those things. But ultimately, the idea that you can be under the influence, it could be prescription drugs within our environment. Those things have to be declared because they can impact the equipment and the machinery that you're operating and the conditions that you're operating under. So when we talk about drug and alcohol use at BELCO, we follow policies that it's not about catching people out per se, but it's about making sure that we have a safe environment continuously.
Can I ask, if you might know, because this program's been going on for a long time, a guesstimation number of how many people actually may have failed that drug test and not being able to proceed further?
I can't say, but so I used to play football, right, at the national level, youth level, and I can say that what I recognize even at 17 years old is that some people just didn't go on the trip because they couldn't pass the drug test, right? So I don't have the statistics from an employer perspective, but what I would say is that in Bermuda we do have a culture of people not taking the opportunities that are in front of them because they don't want to give up certain habits. And for someone if that's their decision, then they also have to live with the consequence that this job is not for them. But we're looking for people that have a level of discipline and rigor and excellence, and some of these things come with it. So while we understand the world has moved on and certain things are acceptable, for us it's unacceptable to be under the influence while being in our working environment. So that's kind of where we would like to stay, but I don't have their statistics.
Indeed.
Right. So let's go back to talking more about this program and exactly when people apply. What is that deadline for when they can actually apply for this program?
Yeah, so well, application process is open September 23rd. It opened, so it's already open. It runs until October 18th, so plenty of time for people to apply. And the application process is go online, like I said, belco.bm. All the information is up there, not just the application process, but we've also provided toolkits and information on the to support the testing that is going to be required in the as part of the process. There's the initial vetting and shortlisting process. There's a theoretical, we call it assessment, but it's a test, right? It's a multiple choice and I think essay type tests that persons have to take, and that the topics can range from safety, force and motion, pressure, some energy topics, some electricity and magnetism. But the test is really designed for anyone that has a mathematics and I would say basic physics perspective coming out of high school. So this is not a test that is designed to, I would say, not allow people to have access, but it is a test designed to test people's capacity and aptitude from a basic high school level along these particular lines. So, but we do provide toolkits online on the belco.bm website. When you go underneath the apprenticeship, we have help tips and places that people can go so that they can actually try to be a little bit more successful in the program. So these are ways that we've done things differently to revamp our apprenticeship and to modernize it so that we can get the best and the brightest. And last time we did a cohort of about 13 apprentices, and to date, 3.5 years on, not one apprentice has failed out of the program. So it's a testimony to the rigor that we put in. So beyond the practical test, there's also an interview process, and then we do some shortlisting, and then we also have a 7-day boot camp. And this boot camp is important because it's a 7-day boot camp with us that takes them through physical activity, takes them through some team building. So we can see people who like to work in teams. Some people cannot work in teams. In our environment, you have to be able to work in teams. We give them a project that they have to do to see how they work, who steps up and who leads, who backs off, but also who's also, if you're not going to be a great leader, sometimes you just need to know that you need to be a great follower in certain ways, or that you can take direction, but also support a team. And that's important as well by playing a role. So we get to see all those dynamics, and that allows us to identify people to put them in roles that they can be successful in, and roles that align with what we need, and then also to put a level of rigor into it. There's also requirements for physical activity, where we have through this boot camp, you have people kind of up early mornings, could be like 5 a.m., 4 a.m. in the morning. And these things are designed because when a Belco lineman, for example, gets a call at 2 a.m. in the morning and has to get up and leave their family, there's a certain mental, psychological space they need to be in order to answer that call, right? It could be an emergency. It could be someone's power is out and they need to respond. So we give them that rigor through the vetting process of the program. And some people can handle it. Some people are honest and say, this is not for me, which I have a lot of respect for.
Indeed.
Yeah.
I want to go to the audience. Michael Daniels has a question. Is the apprenticeship a pathway to all of the disciplines within Belco? Now, I don't know what all the disciplines means. I mean, is it HR, Shelley's communications? I don't know, but maybe you can take that one and understand it.
Yeah, I'll try to understand the question. But I would say that the apprenticeship is designed to basically, it's an introduction to the company. You would have individuals that would have matriculated from the apprenticeship on to, I would say, higher technical ability, and then persons that can go on for engineering study and go on even further. There's opportunities through the apprenticeship continue to exist. It's a gateway into the company, and the company is always open to individuals that want to go further and farther, right? In our history, of course, we've had people that would have matriculated through the apprenticeship on the tools, and then would have said, hey, I have higher capacity and, I want to go further. And we have things like, the BELCO scholarships, internal and external, to support those endeavors. So when someone says all the disciplines, I don't know exactly what they mean, but I think I interpret that as to say, can they move further? As far as the things that we're looking for in terms of electrical, mechanical, fitters, and all those things, I think what's interesting now is that just like the world, we're getting very skills based, and it's not about just having one skill. It's about having multiple skills that you apply to be highly efficient in the workplace. And I think that's something that these new breed of apprentices are embracing, which is different, and that's all part of the transition in the utility industry.
Alrighty. Before you head out, just remind people again, information sessions, where they can go to learn more, and remind them of that closing date.
Yeah, so we're going to have an open house. The open house is going to be on October 8th from 5:30 to 7 p.m. There'll be more information put out into the public. It'll be at our Regen showroom, which is 25 Serpentine Road, over by where Air Care is. And that'll be an open house for the public. We'll be going through our program information. We'll go and be through our application process and requirements. And then we'll also have past apprentices and recent current apprentices that will come and kind of give some element of testimony. So while I'm here today talking about the apprenticeship, there's a magnificent team that actually runs the apprenticeship, including Sean Roberts, who's our training manager within our HR department. But we also have the past apprentices and our employees that are actively involved in the vetting process of these apprentices. So it's not, sitting there like management is the ones just single-handedly picking these apprentices based off of, test results and all these things. But we also have practical tests that our workers and our employees who have been apprentices in the past, they engage and they start to assess, hey, this person is good at this person is good at that. And then they provide that feedback that becomes a loop as to how we pick that. So we have the open house session that's going to give a flavor of testimonials. Again, that's October 8th. The application process is open. It ends October 18th, and we encourage people to get on and register. You also have to, well, you don't have to, I don't believe, but there's a registration for the open house on belco.bm as well. And I'll also say one last point. Just as much as we're interested in parents registering their children and following up and all those things, really this is a step towards an individual's career. So as much as parents can support, so for example, it's an 18-year-old young person, and the mother wants them to do it. So the mother applies, and the mother fills out the application. The mother calls and is calling around and doing all the work. That's actually not the applicant we want. We appreciate the support that our young people get as a result of pushing them to do things. But at the end of the day, this becomes a apprentice contract between the company and the person, and it's an employment relationship. It's not a mother hen type relationship, and I say that with the utmost respect, but I'm speaking from experience.
Indeed. Nadir, thank you so much for the conversation this morning. The directness, it's needed. You know what you're looking for. You're not here to babyfy people. You're here to offer people an opportunity who want to take advantage of the opportunity. So thank you for what you're doing out there. And please know that if you need us to push any information regarding anything BELCO is doing to help the community in this regard, please reach out and just let us know. But all the best, and hopefully you get the best of the best that's available.
I think we will. Bermuda has a lot of talent. We're very excited. And these are the things that we love to do as a company. These are things we love to do for Bermuda. It's a window of hope out there for the company, for the country, and for our young people to know that there's opportunity out there, and not everything is doom and gloom. So yeah, but we thank you for the opportunity from the Daily Hour to be able to come on. Jamal, best wishes, and with the hurricane and what's left of it.
Yes, sir.
I saw Teo give some more information about potential. Knocking on wood, nothing that's coming to Bermuda, I hope, because that means we have to kick in again, and that becomes a thing. But we're always ready and willing to do what we have to do. So good luck to you, and thank you for having me, as well as Maya. Thank you.
Thanks so much. We'll talk. A great one. All right. Nadir Wade, folks, if you appreciated that conversation, please give us a thumbs up, a love, a like. Make sure you share it with your friends, your family, your colleagues. That is a great opportunity, honestly, a great opportunity for some young Bermudians, male and female, who might be interested. We're going to take a quick break, come back in a minute, 15 seconds. We'll wrap it up, and we've got a daily play. See if Maya's on her game today. Stick with us.
The Mailboxes team aren't just employees of Bermuda's Best Shipping Company. They're also your neighbors, and neighbors help each other.
Where my childhood was found.
Take a look at our workwear for construction workers and tradesmen. Durable, stretchable in all the right places, and plenty of options for tools and accessories. Here with our wide range of tough and comfortable footwear, you can't go wrong. As you can see, Medical House really is a one-stop shop for everybody. We can't wait to see you.
See it all at our new expanded location on Bakery Lane.
All right, welcome back. Thanks again to Nadir Wade of BELCO. Really good conversation. To everyone tuned in, whether you're on LinkedIn, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, X, whatever other platforms we're on. Our website, thedailyhour.com. We appreciate you. Thank you. And please give us a thumbs up, a love, a like. Make sure you share the conversation, whatever platform you're on, to make sure as many people have access to the conversation as possible. We want to get the best of Bermuda in there. Make sure they know that opportunities like this exist. No excuse. All right. Thanks again to the BAC group of companies, Medical House, Lindos, and People's Pharmacy for ensuring that we're able to do this with you on a daily basis. It is time for the Daily Play, brought to you by Bermuda Trivia, now available at stores throughout Bermuda. Follow Bermuda Trivia on Facebook, Instagram, X, and TikTok to find out why it's Bermuda's favorite trivia game. All right, Maya, it's a things you should know.
I'm not going to get it.
All right, here we go. This is easy. You're going to get it. What publishing company created superheroes like Iron Man and Captain America?
Marvel.
Oh, you said you're not.
And, I mean, that was so easy to, like, you know how much I love Marvel. Like, what?
I mean, that's what came up. I guarantee you, Sancho or Sherry or Larry wouldn't have got it.
You would have got that. Come on now. Come on now.
I wouldn't have got it. I'm not into that stuff.
You would have gotten that? You don't know superheroes?
I would have probably said Disney.
Well, they do own a lot, so.
Right. Like, folks, I am not into that. If you know me, I don't watch movies or anything. Look, I just started watching my first what's the thing? Netflix series in like years, right? Since like, what was the last one I watched? Not Target King, it was another one. But the documentary about Vince McMahon, the wrestling guy.
Mm-hmm.
I've been watching that since it came out this week. But no, I don't, I'm not into movies and TV like that, folks. You know me.
I'm a big Marvel fan, so yeah.
Yeah, when we go to Vegas, Maya always goes to like the Marvel.
All right.
Sorry. I'm sorry. But anyway, let's wrap up today's conversation, the discussion this morning, Fun Day Friday, and then the conversation with Nadir. Final thoughts.
Loving this morning's discussion because I love just hearing about our people and what we say. It just brings us so well connected together. So I really enjoyed that this morning. Even knowing some, I think some we may even not even touched on because there's so many, and like we forget just how many because we're so used to just saying them in our daily lives. And it brings a lot of love. It connects us in a way I don't think we really realize sometimes. So it's nice to get that reminder. As far as the BELCO discussion, I really love the candidness coming from Nadir about just who he wants to see in those programs, how even sometimes, let's be honest, sometimes we do have bad habits that take us out of really great opportunities, and addressing that head on. I really love that to hear it, so that people can maybe be inspired to maybe kick a bad habit, to try an opportunity like this and to further their life and better their career path and just get the chance. And I would say, even if someone's unsure about something, I'd say apply anyway, go through the process and see whether or not it's for you or not while you're going through it.
No, I as far as the discussion, I love Friday Fun Day. It gives us a chance to decompress and go into the weekend feeling, a little bit lighter, regardless of what happened during the week. But I think there's a pride in these conversations as well. For so often we always felt like, we were made to believe our dialect and the way we spoke was ghetto and not acceptable, and we should speak and act a certain way. I'm glad that we are embracing our culture. I'm not saying that we should be speaking Donny Ray, what you call it. I'm not saying that that's the way that we should be teaching our children and raising them, but I think it is a part of who we are, and we should not reject that. We should not reject it. So I loved the engagement this morning. Long may it continue. Take those conversations into your office. Joke about it. Have fun. The conversation with Nadir needed to be had, and it needs to be that honest. We've had the Bermuda Police Service on. We've spoken about other organizations who are having challenges finding people. People can't pass maybe the physical exam or the drug test and the like. This is serious. We cannot create our own excuses as to why there are no opportunities. Let me repeat. We cannot create our own excuses as to why there's no opportunities. This is a great opportunity for anyone 18 to 25. I loved how candid he was about, look, you may want your child to be involved in this apprenticeship program, but they have to want it too.
Yeah.
They have to apply. Mommy can't come to work for you. Daddy can't come to work for you. So go check them out, honestly. If you know someone who may have an interest in this, if you know someone who, might be a good candidate, let them know. Go check out the information session, the open house. This is an opportunity for Bermudians between 18 and 25 that they should not look past. Thank you to BELCO. Thank you to Nadir. Maya, do you have any daily inspiration to send everyone off for their weekend?
Yes, indeed I do. It's the one who falls and gets up is so much stronger than the one who never fell.
Ooh, talk to us now, sister. That's a good one. All right now. Get back up, folks. I love to quote Sir Alex Ferguson. Losing isn't the problem, it's how you bounce back.
Hello.
Yeah.
Apply for the opportunities in front of you, man.
Yeah. It's okay to fall. All right, folks, don't forget to subscribe on our website. Follow us on all of our social media channels to stay up to date with all that we have going on. Help us grow beyond the mic as we do our part to continue to improve our community. Thanks again to our partners, the BAC Group of Companies, Medical House Lindos, and People's Pharmacy for ensuring that we're able to do this with you on a daily basis. As always, we appreciate you, we love you, and we thank you for making us part of your daily routine. If all goes well, we'll be back to do this again with you on Monday. She's Maya Palacio. I'm Jamel Hartman. Please make it a safe and a great weekend. We are is out. Peace.